Brown, and I'm here with a very special guest now, Judy Blume.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Well, it's wonderful to see you.
And I'm sure there's a lot of great people who are happy to see you here, who've grown up with your books and read them.
Yes, it's very nice.
You are revisiting one of the classics, right? Sally.
Yes.
Which you've called your most autobiographical work.
It is.
Yeah?
It is.
In what ways?
Actually, because I moved, I mean, everything about the book is autobiographical except for the fictional part. But I moved to...
Except for that little part.
Yeah, that little part. I moved to Miami Beach for 2 school years just after World War II. In the 40s, and it was a whole community of mothers, grandmothers, and children, and the fathers commuted, and it was usually because there was a child who had been sick. My brother had had some kind of kidney infection, and in those days the doctor said, oh, no New Jersey winter. You have to get him down into the sun. And it was those were the 2 most important years of my childhood.
Is that common for you to go back to take pieces of your life, your own life, or your past?
I think everybody who writes fiction does that, but that was a particular book, and I wrote it because I got a letter from a teacher. You know, we're talking a million years ago.
Yes.
Get this letter from a teacher,
at
least, and it says, I'm doing a study this summer on creative people and what they were like as children. So I'd like
it was
you
like
to
a project.
Yeah, so I'd like you to tell me, what were you like as a child? And I thought, I can't tell you what I was like as a child, but oh, what a good idea for a book. That imaginative, I was 2 kids. I was, on one hand, I was the fearful, anxiety, eczema kid, and then I was the wild, imaginative child. And living there gave me a sense of freedom.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Well, so what happens a million years later now?
I don't remember it as well.
But when you look back at the book, or look back at yourself writing that book at the time, what do you see?
Well, I've always been interested in the child, let's say more interested in the child I was before adolescence. And so I'm quite fascinated because it was a time when I was terribly worried about my father. I mean, you wouldn't think that a 9-year-old, adults don't think 9-year-olds create these burdens for themselves. But I was worried. My father was flying down every now and then. He had 2 brothers who were dentists just like he was. Both of them died at age 42. That's the age he was. And so I became ritualistic, and I created a whole series of rituals and prayers and bargains with God that, I'll do this if you'll do this, and your job is to keep my father safe, because I adored him and I missed him. And I carried that with me. I never shared it with anybody.
I'm guessing that you have people come up all the time and say, I read you at this point in my life, I read you at that point in my life. Is it, I don't know, odd or strange or loving or lovely or what to feel like you're the source of, an experience or wisdom or something for so many people?
It's lovely.
Yeah.
How could it not be?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sometimes it's a burden, because you can't give them exactly what they want from you. Everybody wants something, and I want to try because I'm still that good girl. And often you have to disappoint. But I mean, you start to write. You're 20-something years old, sit down and write. Who would have ever dreamed in my wildest dreams? And I had wild dreams.
You did.
But I never dreamed anything like this.
I'm going to make it.
No,
but what were the wild dreams?
That someday I would be published. That was the first one. And then you get a little greedier that people will read this book that I've written, and then you get a little greedier. Maybe someday I'll hear from them. Maybe someday I'll be able to live on this. Maybe I'll find a way for this to support me. My dreams were small, but they were my dreams.
You've also had I guess the strange experience in your life of having your books so loved, but also your books banned, right? I mean, yeah, you laugh because it seems.
Well, I didn't always laugh. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm not laughing really because
Yeah.
it's happening to so many writers. We just celebrated the 40th anniversary of the National Coalition Against Censorship
Yeah.
with a big do last week, and you know, once again you hear the names of the people. Sherman Alexie now. I love
Yeah,
his book so
course,
much.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that book,
Yeah.
and it's banned all over the place. People are still it's more. I mean, there's as much.
You see more.
Well, I think there's as much fear
Yeah.
now as there was when people were starting to challenge my books in the early 80s. Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and it's a kind of fear. It's a kind of.
What is it a fear of? I mean, what do you see happening in the culture that causes that every so often, and sometimes in a big way?
Well, there are, you know, simplistic answers, I guess. I mean, people who don't want to talk to their child about the questions. I just got a letter, just like a week or so ago, that a child was reading. I love this because the child was reading Deanie out loud to her grandmother, and she came to the word masturbation.
Yeah.
And she said to her grandmother, "What is this?" And her grandmother went running to the child's mother, I guess
Yeah.
her daughter,
Right.
and said, "What are we supposed to do now?"
Yeah.
And the mother wrote to me. She was quite angry at me.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, probably the child was a little young to be reading Deanie. Nevertheless, what message are you sending to this kid by
Right.
saying,
So you're still getting those letters?
yes, I
Wow.
am still getting these letters.
I saw, just to change the subject a bit to today, I see that you're pretty active on Twitter.
I like Twitter.
You do?
Yeah, I like
yeah.
Twitter.
What do you like about it?
But I don't know what I like about it. You know, my husband once said to me, "Finish the damn book that you're writing, and you can lay in bed all day and tweet."
Yeah?
I don't want to do
come
that.
to that?
No,
No,
I don't
yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something. I just feel that I have Twitter friends.
Yeah.
I have Twitter friends, and I don't share everything, and I have been totally locked up writing this new book, and I
Yeah.
haven't been tweeting very much at all, except for a picture I sent a week ago with my head in the lunch table. I'd fallen absolutely sound asleep with my head in the lunch table.
Really?
Yes. My husband took the picture, of course.
Of course, yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
But a real picture.
A real
Exhausted,
picture.
yeah.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the new work you're on?
It's a time and a place. It's a novel for grown-ups, but it's got a lot of teenagers in it. It's a time and a place in the 50s in New Jersey, where I grew up, and then you also meet them in 1987, 35 years later, when the lead characters are 50 years old. And it's just, you know, it's a lot of characters. Oh my goodness. I say to my kids, don't ever accuse me of forgetting, because I have all these characters in my mind and I know them all.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of characters, and it's families and friends, and what can happen in an instant that changes your whole life.
All right, we will look for that. Judy Blume, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.